Now able to lay down a lot of firepower, and clearly focus fire is not been given to the light anti-tank half-track. Panzergrenadiers will give air force to freeze, engaging these riflemen who are both veterans in one. BARs are plenty. Panzergrenadiers forced into a retreat. This could easily end up very nicely. He will need to apply focused fire if he wants to actually achieve something. And now we see an anti-tank gun edging in the distance. Will certainly be able to lay down a lot of fire and possibly knock out that anti-tank half-track with a vicious speed. And now we see a second infantry half-track moving in. And the anti-tank gun is firing, but a bit beyond range it seems. Greyhound is immobilized. Panzergrenadiers continue to engage the riflemen, but the Panzergrenadiers are on the losing end, not really to conduct any heavy losses. Looks like once Panzergrenadier was killed by the anti-tank gun, M8 is wrecked. Like infantry half-track moving abroad for some reason, and now taking fire from the anti-tank gun. Apparently he's trying to use it like an armored car, but infantry half-tracks and general half-tracks in general are not armored cars, and this will only take one more shot and it will be a wreck. And that's very poor half-track tactics, out of control and right into the anti-tank gun. Panzergrenadiers and anti-tank half-tank continuing to engage these riflemen who are forced into a full retreat. Could possibly knock out this last anti-tank gun, but now another M8 moving out, and Mr. Mayopie continuing his trait of not actually upgrading these armored cars. And now blasting away these Panzergrenadiers who are out in the open, trying to desperately to knock out this anti-tank gun, but only one man left, and now getting into the building. He's certainly not going to live for very long, now completely surrounded. Armored cars, riflemen and whatnot. And rushing in his anti-tank half-track, only for it to also be knocked out as well. That is certainly not a good show. It certainly is going to cost him very dearly. And now he's just whining, I fear. Again, very poor sportsmanship, I'd certainly say. So far it's only been his own fault that he's lost so many things. It's been very bad engagements, and now we see further mines going down. And a force moving down towards the left as well, probably going to set up for a flanking maneuver.
We have finished construction.
And let's have a look at Mr. Thiswillneverwork, the great optimist. No doctrinal choice, which is certainly not going to help him. Panzergrenadiers sitting up in this building, apparently expecting some sort of assault. And Panzergrenadiers are going to charge right into this mine, and there we go. One dead, the rest pinned, and some very wounded. And a strafing run as well, killing a few Panzergrenadiers this time around though. And engineers with flamethrowers moving in. Defensive veterans, you want going up for these Panzergrenadiers, but they will need to get out of there, these as well. Engineers getting killed by these Panzergrenadiers nearby. Only one, and oh dear, the Panzergrenadier team has been killed. It was a very risky gamble, and it did not work out. Now we do see veterans who won for this armored car, and still no armored skirts. And further complaints about strafing run, which has been nerfed. A tank buster team has hit the field though. A shot to the rear, almost slaughtering this M8. Will the tank buster team be able to finish it off, or will the M8 get away? It seems like it is away and beyond their reach. Fresh Panzergrenadiers moving in. Riflemen with BARs moving in from the east and forced into a quick rout. Anti-tank on left behind. It could easily be cleared out by some determined Panzergrenadiers if they were so inclined, and looks like we might see it. Yes, indeed, the anti-tank gun is left behind. Panzergrenadiers hitting it. The crew are quite exposed, taking a lot of fire. Panzergrenadiers moving into this building a bit fast, and there we go. The anti-tank gun is cleared out. A quick Luftwaffe team, and it could easily be recruited. And now we see riflemen moving in from the west, taking a lot of fire from this building. One down already. Do they have any grenades? I don't know. Further Panzergrenadiers nearby, or not. Apparently some got out. Trying to cover these tank busters, seizing the victory point. Heavy losses for the Americans. Certainly what a few grenades could have been helpful in clearing out this building. One rifleman team in a full rout. The other one taking a lot of fire, being completely exposed from all sides. Will definitely want to get out of there before they are lost. Looks like they might not make it out of there. And they just barely do, and we see a full rout. No, in fact, he was killed just beyond the reach. A plucky Panzergrenadier fires through his scoped Gewehr 43 and shoots him right through the head. Absolutely crack shot. And so far the situation has been stabilized a bit with heavy losses to the American infantry. And what do we see? Another tank buster team round there expecting some heavy armor, and armored car rushes past, dodging the Panzerschreck and now moving in from the rear. And now This Will Never Work is just being plain rude. Certainly not good behavior. Armored car circling around this anti-tank half-track. Will the half-track be able to immobilize it and knock it out? We'll have to see. One shot goes off. Tank Panzerschreck troops moving in. Not hitting it. Not immobilizing it for some reason. And now the building has been vacated. Airborne are moving in, having suffered some losses, it seems. The 82nd, and now not good. Armored car knocked out, but a Panzergrenadier team is lost. Focused fire perhaps being, yes, we do see focused fire. I think no. Why on earth is he not using focused fire for his anti-tank half-track? It's madness not to. And we see the coilless rifles being equipped. The anti-tank half-track will almost be out. Satchel charge being used on the building, clearing out several of the tank busters and probably leaving a big fat hole in the building. Yes, indeed, the tank busters are forced to retreat. The building not really a secure position anymore. Panzergrenadiers really taking a lot of fire, and this has really gone badly for the Panzer Elite commander. He really has botched his chances to actually turn back the American tide. Instead, he just threw away his men, his half-track, and what not else. And will he be able to recuperate from this and turn the tide? I don't think so. Tank buster team holding the line, but they will surely be overwhelmed by these airborne and riflemen. A lot of firepower and not so many Panzergrenadiers or tank busters holding the line, but they really are outnumbered, and these trees are not really providing much cover for this heavy infantry, and they are indeed forced to retreat after one is down, and he's begging for help, but there will be none for him. Poor Klaus. And we see these tank busters reinforcing, other Panzergrenadiers reinforcing, and we see an upgrade for the Panzer Support Command. Finally, after so long time, I'm not entirely sure why I waited for so long. A Panzer IV could certainly have dealt with those armored cars and all of the infantry, but now it might perhaps be a bit too late. We will have to see. But he's certainly lacking the manpower to get it. Fresh Panzergrenadier forces are ready to march out once more. Several Panzerschrecks. In fact, he has 3 Panzerschrecks, but the main force is still composed of infantry, so it might not be so good. A single Gewehr 43 would certainly be helpful. Now the riflemen are moving in larger forces, taking what little is left of the 17th SS. And we see Panzerschrecks being fired from all sides, but no greater luck. Standing right out in the open or blowing away what little cover they had. One rifleman goes down. Panzerschreck team setting up right there. One rifleman team is in a full retreat. Looks like one Panzergrenadier team has forced to retreat, and the other 2 are holding the line. And we see a strafing run going in, killing one team and not killing any teams, in fact. Oh, wait. There was one that was trying to retreat that perhaps was killed, but the rest are getting out of there and alive. So not well or bad, but certainly not good. Might be able to get that Panzer IV soon though. But with airborne, with recoilless rifles, and now this anti-tank gun moving closer, it really needs to be careful, or it will very end up as a wreck. And now these tank busters are completely surrounded, holed up inside the building, trying to fire back. Panzerschrecks firing off as the airborne are slowly surrounding it with the help of a few riflemen. 29th and 82nd Airborne are really putting the pressure on this building. And will we see another satchel charge? Yes, indeed, the tank busters are getting out. We'll probably see this building take quite a boom, and there we go. Large explosion, tank busters hitting the mine, and this building certainly not looking too strong. And what do we see? Further airborne being dropped in. And let's return to Captain Mayopie, who's certainly getting a lot of aid. Not many Panzergrenadiers left, and a Panzer IV on the way, but will it be able to turn the tide? Or will it be turned over itself? and the Panzer IV F1 is ready. It itself has actually not received any changes. And moving out, perhaps it will receive armored skirts, perhaps it will not. Leading the charge, the Panzer IV crashes through this wall and right into heavy fire from the recoilless rifles. And now locking down, exposing its rear continually to these airborne. We do see armored skirts going up on the anti-tank gun, is quick to move in and firing away. We will probably see armor-piercing rounds for it, which will certainly, and one more shot I think, and this, yes indeed, a shot more, and the Panzer IV is gone. Absolutely foolhardy charge with the Panzer IV. His only chance at perhaps turning this around, and he wasted it. Now the tank busters are getting torn apart right out in the open, surrounded by airborne anti-tank guns and infantrymen. They really are taking a beating, and I doubt they will be surviving this. Some of the airborne right in front of them are getting a bit torn up, but they are able to get down there with ease. And Panzer Shreks being fired in the sky in the attempt to hit some of those airborne dropping in, and clearly not working. And now it's completely lost, I do believe. Barely any infantry left, no armor, no anything, and Mr. Mayopie has secured the map. So there you go, an interesting match, and certainly a lesson in what not to do with the Panzer Elite, the 17th, as having been brutally beaten back by the combined efforts of the 29th and 82nd. So what can we learn from this? Well, for starters, if you have the anti-tank half-track, use focused fire. It can make a world of a difference. It really means it can slaughter infantry. Secondly, while using buildings are good, you should be careful not to be too passive with it, in particular as the Panzer Elite. And also don't stand out in the open, and generally also be quick to get your Panzergrenadiers out of there, something which Mr. This Will Not Work was certainly not bad at. And also try to be a good sport. I mean, sure, you can get some frustrating games, it happens for everyone, but taking it out on the other person isn't going to help anything. And otherwise, I mean, really, I just can't help but feel that this was a rather poor attitude, which did not help him at all. I mean, this will never work, and generally complaining everything was overpowered, even if sarcastic, didn't really show him as being the great leader of Panzergrenadiers. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And if you didn't, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying, do try to behave like a gentleman.